What are the other means? Na karmana. Karma means rituals, Vedic rituals. So once upon a time we were devotees of Vedic rituals, huge altars and fire and sacrifice and animal sacrifice and all that. And the purpose was to please the gods and gain heaven. So at that time we were believing in heaven. Heaven is Amrutatvam. Go to heaven, live there and see the dance of Ramba, Urvashi, Tilottama and singing, hear the singing of Gandharvas and all that. Keep company with Indra. So heaven is a place where you don't have to work. It's a place of enjoyment, no work. And we all want that heaven, isn't it? All of us are aspiring for a life where no work and pay, especially in Kerala. No work, all the pay. I need the pay, but no work. So that is called a heaven, the Kerala model of heaven. Without work, you gain all the Kerala model of heaven. So that's the idea. It's said there. Natatratvam jaraya bibedi ubhe tirtu ashnaya pibase shogadigo modade sargaloge. So in Sargaloga there is no work, all kind of enjoyment. But the thing is, to gain heaven you have to work here. You have to do a lot of rituals here and go to heaven. But the thing is, after reaching heaven, is it a permanent place? No. You live there for some time and come back. Come back to the world. Again you have to work. Again you go there. Again come back. Sometimes you make mistakes. And if you make mistakes, the tears are there, but no reward. So the Rishi says, that kind of a world view, do rituals, go to heaven, come back, again go, come back, this is a limited world view. Therefore, na karmana, it is not by Vedic rituals that you can reach heaven. So therefore later we still continue perform rituals with a different attitude. Now the attitude is for discipline. Every day in the morning you have to get up, you have to procure things, you have to sit near the fire, you have to chant the mantras, you have to learn all that. Till such time you cannot eat or watch the TV, it gives you a lot of discipline, isn't it? The Vedic rituals, the purpose was to discipline oneself, perform the rituals and discipline yourself, purify your mind. So otherwise, Vedic rituals cannot take you to the sense of immortality. Na karmana, na prajaya, not by producing children, male children. So there is a belief that producing male children, that's one of our duties. To marry, produce children, was one of the duties. Pidra rinam, the debt to our parents are paid back by marrying and producing children and raising them as dharma, followers of dharma or righteous children, good children. So produce, so that they will do your andyeshti and other rituals. So by producing children and paying our debt like this, through children, you get pidruloka. Pidruloka also is not permanent. You have to come back again. So na karmana, na prajaya, dhanena, wealth and power. Wealth and power you can get comforts here, ihaloka. So by wealth, this world, by children, pidruloka, and by Vedic rituals, Surga, but none of them are permanent. As Shankaracharya said, punarabhijananam, maranam punarabhijanani, jadare shayanam, ihasamsare, bhagudustare, kripaya pare, pahi murare. And your sense of insecurity and your sense of limitation is not given up by these processes. So therefore, what I have to do? Tyagena ege. It is by tyaga that you can gain immortality. And for tyaga, you must know who you are. When you know who you are, then tyaga becomes natural. There is no effort involved. Giving becomes a natural experience. Sharing becomes a natural experience. So, na karmana, na prajaya, dhanena, tyage nege, amrudatvamanashuhu, parena nakam, nihidam guhayam, vipracha deyat, yadayo vishanti. So yadis, yatnam kurvanta. People who make efforts, practice yoga, study Vedanta, meditate, reflect. So such people who do spiritual practices, they are called yadis, yadayaha. Yadayaha, where do they go? He says, Parena Nagam Nihidam Guhayam. Nagam means heaven. Kam means Sukham. Agam means Dukkham. Nagam means a place where there is no Dukkha. But there is no positive joy or anything, but there is no Dukkha. There is no suffering. There is no old age. So such a place is called a heaven. Nagam. But this what we are indicating is Parena Nagam, beyond even heaven. So heaven can be there, heaven can be here also. The utopians in the 17th and 18th centuries, they believed with the help of science and technology they can create a heaven here. We do try to create a heaven. There is air conditioners, there is washing machines, there is cars, very comfortable car. So we are trying to create a certain heaven here, but then creates more trouble and insecurities and fear and more labor and all that. So our attempt to create heaven here has been a failure. Because now the cost is more than the reward, the result. You have to spend more to get little, which is called the environmental degradation, health problems, social tensions, debt, mounting debt. Isn't it? All our heaven we create by borrowing money, indebting our children and grandchildren. So therefore our effort to create heaven here has ended up in polluting the planet. So this heaven is not going to happen. And heaven there also is not a permanent thing. So there is something beyond heaven, which is called Parena Nagam. Where is that beyond heaven? Where there is pure bliss. Beyond heaven there is pure bliss. In heaven it is contaminated bliss. Because always there is a cost involved. You have to pay something to get something. No gain without pain. That is heaven. But there is something beyond, which is uncontaminated bliss. Parena Nagam. But where is that? Nihidam Guhayam. It is deeply buried within you. It is not outside. Like the oil buried in the Arabian desert or gold buried in the South African desert. You have to go deep, dig deep. Wherever you are standing, you have to dig deep. So it is deep within your own heart, your own inner, the recesses of your inner being. So it's not out there, it is in here. That's why Nihidam Guhayam. Guha means the cave of the heart. So where is the cave of the heart? Because the moment you hear the word heart, you are off to Himalayas, searching for caves. Here you say the cave of the heart. The cave of the heart is realized by watching. Watch the world, be the observer, watch your thoughts, be the observer, watch your ego, be the observer, watch your memories, be the observer, watch time space, be the observer. So through a process of watching, you increasingly disengage, detach from all these layers of your personalities and come to a point where you realize who you are. So that point is the Hridaya Guha, the cave of the heart. So there in the cave of the heart, Vibhrajade shines the diamond of the self. Vibhrajade means shines. So some people compare the self as a diamond, very blue, diamond, the cave of the heart. Some people say the blue pearl hidden in your own being. These are all metaphorical language. Don't look for a diamond and a pearl there. It's pure bliss which you are talking about. So vibhrajade, in the very core of your being, which you reach by a process of watching, by knowing that this is objective and I am the subject. This is objective, I am the subject. World is objective, I am the subject. Thoughts are objective, I am the subject. Ego is objective, I am the subject. Thus, by a process of increasingly watching, you can reach that state. So, vibhrajade nihidam guhaya yada yadayaha vishandi. That you can reach easily. So, where the seeker and the sought become one, tattvamasi. Seeker and the thought become one. So far you have been a seeker seeking outside. There is always a gap. But when the search is over, the gap is closed, and you realize what you are seeking is you, yourself. It is hidden within you. It is not far away. So, parena nagam nihidam guhayam viprajade yadyadayo vishandi. So the Guru has set the terms of the search. This is how you have to search.